everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I always appreciate it a lot. And if you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell my handmade progress keepers, earrings, hand-dyed yarn, and my own pattern designs. You can also find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made. You can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. Thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the YouTube. So we're back with another episode. I'm so excited about this episode. I have 2 finished objects, and we have giveaway winners, which I will be announcing with my husband at the end of the video. So if you're just here for the giveaways, skip on over, but if you're here to stay, please hang out with me here. I got some fun stuff to talk about. So yeah, I really jumped through that beginning entrance, but that's the big thing for this episode, is that there is giveaways at the end. So really, that was the quickest intro ever, and let's get cracking on these projects. So my first finished object, I finished my Oma Sokken by the Kitchen Sink Shop. And here they are. They're awesome. They're a very easy ribbed sock. I knit this in my own hand-dyed yarn, the Watercolor Promises sock set. I have 2 of these in the shop right now. This one's a little messy because I've undone it a few times. But some rainbow colors, and it comes with a mini. So that is Watercolor Promises paired with Clear Sky. It is a 75/25 fingering weight. And the only thing I changed I changed a couple things about this pattern. It was a basic outline, but it is a cuff down pattern. I just switched it around and did a toe up, where I just cast on the same amount of stitches that you would do Kitchener the toe, and then just knit up. I did a short row heel, which is my favorite heel to do, and yeah, those are the only 2 things I changed about these, but they're so cool. There's one, and they all pooled in different ways, which is so cool. I love how this worked. It was my goal when I dyed this to make it look like watercolor paint. You can see right there, that's so nice. This one spiraled. Looks so nice. I love these socks. So those are done, and they're so happy. Like, I don't know, the great spring colors. And I've got the leftovers here. So this, I split it into 50/50. I split the skein in half, 50/50. And I was gonna knit them 2 at a time, but I realized that I'm not really into the 2 at a time anymore. It's not enough visual progress for me to like keep excited with it. So I just split it onto separate needles, and I finished one, and then I went on to the other and finished the other. So it was a very nice project, and these are my leftovers. I've already taken one of the 50-gram skeins, and I split it up to a mini for my Christmas Advent calendar swap of trying to keep up with that to be on top of it, and then another part of this is going to go into my granny square bag. And this one's a little too small, so it'll just get thrown in to be a scrap in something. So I'm really collecting my fingering weight leftovers right now for whatever project it will become. And then my other finished object, which I just finished this morning. I wasn't going to film until it was done, but I finished my winter Bluff sweater. I don't know if I can hold it up in front of the thing. It's kind of curling. It hasn't been blocked yet because I just finished it today. And it is by Lily Lake Knits. There will be a link in the description, and all the projects I talk about will have links down below. But this is the Winter Bluff sweater, and I love it. It's a simple raglan. Alright, this is curling up. It'll go away once it's blocked. It is a worsted weight pattern. I did mine with 3/4 length sleeves. The only thing I did that's not to pattern is, okay, I did 2 different things again. I went to a smaller size needle for the cuffs on the arms and the bottom ribbing, but I kept the same size needle for the neckline and the body, which is what she calls you to do. And I cast on the stitches for the size 2, but I increased to the size 3 because I didn't want a really big neckline. So, very easy. I knit this out of Barocco Vintage in the color 5103, which I believe is called Holly. The tag doesn't say, but if you look on, say, Lovecrafts or any other website that's selling it, it's called Holly. Sometimes it's called Mistletoe. I don't know what the difference is, but this one is 5103. It is a worsted weight yarn, 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. So it's going to be a pretty hearty sweater with the wool and the nylon in there. I'm not going to machine wash it because I'm afraid of it shrinking with the wool in there, but the acrylic should help it be washable. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I used four hanks of this. I probably could have used a 5th, and then I could have done full-length sleeves, but I generally have my sweaters, I pull them up to 3/4 length so they're out of the way, so I thought I'd just knit them a little shorter. And it's so soft. This is a free pattern, so if you're interested, it's so easy and so well written. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's my other finished object. I'm going to block it today, so hopefully I can wear it for Easter, which is, today is the Thursday before Easter weekend, so probably. And it's so soft. It's a nice yarn. You can feel the wool content in there, but it's not like super scratchy. It's got the wool is there. You can feel that, but it's not scratchy. So it's a very nice sweater. I can't wait to have this for like the spring weather. I know it's weird to knit a sweater and cast it off before the summer months, but to be honest, I'm just a cold person in general, so I'm probably going to be wearing this in the summer as well. Oh yeah, that is my other finished object. I'm so happy with it. Oh, and the needles that I used on this, she calls you to use a 5mm needle. I went down to a 4.5 for the body, and that made my gauge just a slightly smaller than what's called for, which is another reason why I went up to size 3. But I really like this fabric. I don't like my knits to be meshy, so I went down, and for the sleeve cuffs and the bottom ribbing of the sweater, I used a size 4mm. Alrighty. And out of all the yarn, this is all I have left. I was cutting it pretty close. Alrighty. So those are my finished objects. So now let's get into some whips. Okay, so first whip is a very simple one. I finished another granny square out of some leftovers. This is my own hand-dyed yarn. I believe this is called Eat Your Kelp. I think so. I'm forgetting them already. But yeah, so I just finished one and a little like brush over of what I do. I used to crochet these squares on a 2.75 millimeter crochet hook. I don't know what that is in US. But 2.75, and I realized that my gauge was kind of loosening after a while, so I have gone down to a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. So that's what I did this on. I do up to 10 rows, and that's just the basis that I follow. It is a normal granny square, and I'm going to throw that into the collection. And I've got another one started. This is Once Upon a Christmas by Storyweaver Yarn, and I knit a small flax sweater out of this. And here's my crochet hook. I just threw some random polymer clay on it because the hook was so small that I couldn't grip it very well. So I just put some polymer clay on it. It's a metal crochet hook. Do not do it on a plastic crochet hook because it will melt. But this is metal and it makes it much easier to grip. It's just sitting in my Espresso Patronum bag by So Crazy Crafter. It is the perfect little bag to carry granny squares around in. And, okay, let's see what's next. Let's go with this guy. In here, this is a bag from Two Sticks and You, EWE. My grandma gave me this bag. It's so cute. And I have another one that's the same group. They're so cute. And in here, I had finished this sock, but then I had my husband try it on and it was too big. So I picked up stitches and went back to the foot because I really want these to be a proper fit. So I am going to knit these again shorter, but I really don't mind because this yarn is so squishy and wonderful, and because it is a DK weight sock, it goes super fast. So I am just doing a vanilla DK weight sock toe up. I really like doing my socks toe up, so I do them all that way. And I'm using 3.25 millimeter needles. I'm knitting these magic loop. And the progress keeper I got on here is a hoggle that will be in the shop. I have another one of these that will be in the shop next week. And this is yarn that we carry in the shop. Let's see, I got a whole one here. That'll look nicer. This is Clinking Fountains. It is Opal DK weight yarn, and it is amazing. It is an 8-ply, so it's really, I don't know what the word would be. It's squishy and durable. Like there's some body to this. And it's got the picture right there. I believe I showed this last time, but there's the picture of it knit up. And again, you can find this in the shop right now. But yeah, I just pulled back on this sock. I had done a short row heel, and yeah, I will leave a link to the Crazy Sock Ladies DK weight socks, which is free on Ravelry. I got this before it went on Ravelry. Like it was given in an email. I'm not on Ravelry, but if you are on Ravelry, it is there. If you're not on Ravelry. I'm pretty sure you can message her and ask to have it because it is a free pattern. But yeah, easy peasy. And her pattern is cuff down, but again, for a toe up version of any sock, I just cast on the same amount of stitches that you would Kitchener and just do the pattern backwards. And I believe if you're a heel flap and gusset person, which is what she writes for DK weight socks, you can do it backwards, but I think it's trickier. I've never done a heel flap and gusset. I want to try one day, but I just haven't yet. So that's a lot of blabbering to say. I just use the pattern for guidelines. So this will probably be a finished object next episode. That's what I'm gonna probably work on the most. And it's been unintentional for me to have finished objects every episode. I don't know how long I could keep it up, but I'm still gonna try. So probably next episode, these will be the finished object. Okay, and next work in progress, it is a brand new one. I cast this on probably like a week and a half ago. Like, this was long before my winter Bluff sweater was done, but I really wanted to cast this on. So this is, where's the front picture? There we go. This is the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is a DK weight sweater, just a simple, I think it's a yoke sweater. My last one was a raglan. So this is a yoke sweater. And my husband had helped me pull apart my So Faded cardie. I had pulled it out thinking that I would finish it and I would love it, but every time I looked at it, I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna finish that. I don't think I'm gonna knit that. So he helped me pull it apart, and I'm using this yarn, which is Ilmani Sabri. It is a mix of cotton and alpaca. It's so lovely. And here we go. This is Kate Celine in the color The Little Mermaid, and these are both fingering weight yarns. This is a 75-25 superwash nylon, 100 grams, 420 meters, and it is a 4-ply sock. And it is just gorgeous. I've had this for a long time, waiting for the perfect project. And so when I saw these two together, I was like, that is it. And it's gonna have such a cool fabric. Here we go. So far, all I have is the collar. And look how happy it is. It's like funfetti cake, which is probably what this sweater's gonna look like all in all. But it's such a happy. Or I am knitting. What size am I knitting here? I'm knitting size 3 out of this. It is a sport weight sweater, so Sport DK. I'm just holding 2 fingering together, and that's the fabric I'm getting. I'm using the needles called for. So I cast on with 3.25 millimeter needles, and I just knit them magic loop, this magic loop, and I'll be sizing up for the body, and I'll probably get into that today. I've just been waiting for me to be done that sweater, the Winter Bluff sweater, so I can really get into this one. And I have to do the short row shaping, so I've been waiting for a time where it's like my brain is ready to do that. So that will be my next sweater project, and it feels amazing, like the cotton and the alpaca. So the cotton is so nice and breathable. The alpaca, super warm, and the superwash merino yarn just adds that pop of color that is going to be amazing. Yeah, and I'm just keeping that in a bag I made years ago. It's just like a cinch sack bag that is perfect for this sweater. And yeah, so hopefully, possibly, I will get into some sleeves the next time you see me. I really want to work on that one and get it going. So now that the winter Bluff sweater is done, it's all thumbs up and a go. I'm so sorry for the air conditioning in the house today is so loud. It's always loud, but today it seems louder. We just live in a noisy house. That's just how it is. That's okay. Okay, and lastly, I am starting a blanket design. So, I've been really thinking about this design. It's inspired by the classic quilts. I really love the idea of designing some afghans that you can knit or crochet that will look like a classic sewn quilt. I love quilts. I love the idea of quilts. I love the idea of making a quilt, but to be honest, I lack the patience to create a quilt. I have a quilt that I have made myself, but it took me like 4 years. So if it was knit or crocheted, I am more likely to finish it because I love knitting and crocheting blankets. It's one of my favorite projects because I find a blanket is, yes, it's a big project. Yes, it's a lot of commitment, but you're not under the same time frame as any other project. Like if it sits for a while, that is completely okay. You just pick it up when you feel like it, when you need that simple or cozy project. Blankets are amazing. So, this looks really weird at the moment, but plan is this is going to be a square once it's off the needles. I'm doing this on size 2.75 millimeter DPNs. These are, show you, these are the Leica Driftwoods, and I love these. I got these from Rose and Pearl. I'll leave a link to them down below. She is amazing. If you are on Vancouver Island, go to her because she's close and she's got stuff you need. I love ordering from her. So this blanket design is going to be made for 12 20-gram minis. So if you get a Christmas advent calendar that has 12 minis, you can totally make a blanket out of this. So what it is, I've knit a square from the center out. I did a pinhole cast on, and then I'm knitting each side out in some garter in a different color, and then in the little corners, that's going to be the little square gap. So let's, like that, right in this little square here, there's going to be a smaller square. So when they're sewn together, you have your big squares and your little squares. It's going to be so pretty. So you make your minis into pairings of 2, and you will knit 2 squares. So my next square, I'm going to knit the purple as the center and the green as these guys. I have no idea what I'm going to call this blanket yet, but if you have any ideas, do let me know. This will probably make more sense next episode. I'll make sure that I finish a square so you can see it in all its glory. I was debating whether to show this off this episode or not, but I wanted to show it. And also, when I talk about stuff on podcasts, it kind of gives me a little oomph of motivation to finish it faster, if that makes sense. Like, I want to get it done and share it with you guys sooner. So showing it off will help me to get that motivation to finish more squares. And that'll probably be a project or a pattern that will be released June or July, depending on how quick I can start putting this blanket together. I would love to have at least partially the blanket put together so you can see how it's going to be mattress stitched up, so you can see it in some prettiness, either in the summer, or it's just going to have to wait until Christmas time. Hopefully it'll be done by then. But in here, that's what's being kept in this bag. And I've got my 12 minis in here. It's a bunch of fun colors that I don't really know how I'm gonna pair them yet. I've got some like rough ideas of what's gonna be like, but we're just gonna roll with it. That's the fun of a blanket. You do it in how you feel throughout the time. Like your color moods change. So if I'm feeling something a little bit more summery, I can pick more summery colors, and vice versa in wintry colors. Have I babbled enough yet? I feel like sometimes I haven't drawn a breath because I get too excited about something. But this blanket is in the works, and I'm super happy with how it's coming together. I've had this idea in my brain for a while, and it took me a while to get the courage to start it and do it. Like, something about designing a blanket felt like not a big commitment, but like a big jump in my designing journey. So with it actually coming together well, it's actually like working the way out the way I thought it would, makes me really excited and really happy about that. So yeah. Okay, so that is all my works in progress that I have right now. So that means we can jump into the finale. I will have my husband jump on with me. He has a new work in progress to show, and also we will announce the giveaway winners. So let's go.
Well, hello. I'm back. I'm Ezra, and I'm back. I was gonna say that the other order. I guess I'll just jump into it. I started a new project because I guess I'm hooked. Eden really wanted a Musselburgh hat, but didn't want to make it. She made mine. Thank you, by the way. It's great. It's really warm, and you finished it just when it was starting to get warmer out. So I haven't worn it much, just because it works too good. But the winter will come again, and it's really nice. So here's the picture. There's a picture. That is what it's supposed to look like. So you won one.
Mm-hmm. And you bought me this yarn,
yeah,
like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah, and then you were like, "Oh well, can you make it with the yarn that I got?"
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It makes me
I
laugh.
always knew this yarn would be perfect for a Musselburgh hat, but after I knit yours, I was like, I don't want to knit another one. It's a great pattern. It was just a lot of work.
This is called Twitter Pated. It's from Knit Circus Yarns.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100% superwash merino, 440 yards, 100 grams.
It's fingering weight.
Yes. Yeah. So there was originally more green inside, and then this is what it looks like. See, it's
You're
green.
getting super far already.
This is so addicting. It's so addicting. I've done this so much. When did I start this? Last week?
Yeah.
After the last podcast. I hadn't started it. And these are every 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
just last
it was
week.
pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
The
Let's see if I can poof.
what you start? What was?
We did a pinhole cast.
Pinhole cast on. That was an adventure.
And you did it by yourself. Like
you helped a little bit.
Like I began 2 stitches, but you took it on like
yeah,
a champ.
You did. You helped when I dropped stitches, which was often. But even once it was like even just a little bit bigger, even the increases were really addicting. I can see why you would get tired of this, especially because you're a what's it called when you have a bunch of projects?
Multitasker? Multi-progress person?
There's a term for it, isn't it? I'm brain farting right now. But anyways, I do one at a time, at least for now. So I can see where it'd be different for you that does many projects at once. But this has been so addicting, and it's great.
And you got a more fun yarn than I did. Like mine was straight the same thing all the way through.
I wish I knew where it was at the moment. I should have grabbed it beforehand. But part of the reason it's addicting is because I'm waiting for it to change colors. It's taking forever. It's taking so long. Technically, this is 2 colors. It changes here, but it didn't feel like much of a change. Not like it looks in this.
Yeah.
So
you're almost to the cream, and then you get to like.
I'm waiting for the blue.
The blue.
It's taking forever, but yes, it's been pretty fun. What I don't even know what size it is. It's the smallest needles I've ever done. 2.75.
Yeah, same as these. US 2.
Oh, same as those, huh? Yeah. Just circulars. Started with DPNs. That was an adventure.
First time using those too.
Yeah.
So that is the Musselburgh Hat by Yolanda.
Oh, yeah, by Isolda?
Isolda? Maybe, nope.
What?
Isolda. Excuse me. Yolanda's a different
Where's the
name.
front page of this? I know I printed it off. It's like 11 pages.
It's a lot of pages. One more, I think. There you go.
Oh, there's the front page.
Yeah, so it's a hat that if you don't know what this is, which would... I don't know why I assume that everybody knows this, because when it first came out, everybody and their cat knit one of these. So, what it is you start at the top of the hat, you do your increases, and then you knit until it's like 2 hats length, and then you decrease, and then you just fold it in on itself, and it's a double layer toque, or...
Which is why it's so warm.
Yeah, why it's so warm. It's awesome.
It's 2.
So it's a very cool construction.
It's also my first time knitting in the round, which is kind of a problem because there's no end. You just keep going.
Yeah.
And apparently I'm not good at that because I just keep going.
Yeah. You'll say that, like, okay, I'm going to end on this row, and then, like, 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, I'm going to end now.
Yep. Yeah, it might be a problem. So, don't ask for one of these again. Do something else.
Well, I'm sure.
It has been pretty fun, though.
It's a really good...
And I know how to do this now. This is a bag that you made.
With the deer upside down.
Which, yeah.
That was an accident. I attached it to the bottom the wrong way. So it's supposed to be this way, but...
I love the colors, though.
It's got deer in the woods. I made this for you years ago.
Time ago.
Yeah. To put your dishcloths in. And when I did it, I sewed it on, and it was like almost done, and I was like, crap, the deer are upside down. But I was like, I'm not going to fix that.
It's just funny now. I don't even think about it much anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's your work in progress.
Yeah.
And now we can announce giveaway winners. Which I'm sure all of you people have been sitting here for, and like the whole time it's just waiting for...
I forgot about this.
Forget the podcast.
Oh, you already have the winners?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I couldn't do it at the same time of filming.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
So... the winner of the Progress Keeper of your choice is...
Dun, da, da. I wish I had a drum roll.
Drum
I can't drum, though. I'm not a musician.
Meg F. So, I just picked out of the comments. Your name was
delayed.
Meg. So, Meg, to claim your Progress Keeper, just have a look of what's in the shop, and you can
There's a lot.
There's a lot in there.
Does that include hoggles?
Yes. Any
Hoggles.
Progress Keeper of your choice.
Anything with a hook on it?
Anything with
or a lobster clasp?
Yeah, exactly. Anything with a lobster clasp on it, you can have your pick of. Just email me at, I'll put the email down below, krakenmade@outlook.com, and to send me your address and what Progress Keeper you would like. The winner of the yarn is Anvita Sinha. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
I'm terrible at names.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
even going to
the
try.
winner of that yarn.
Is it up here?
Yeah,
This one?
That one.
This one. The one that's too hard to photograph because it's either it's darker than that and it's lighter than that.
Yeah. It's just you can't get it's pretty close.
I would say it's about that.
Yeah. But it's a one-of-a-kind skein that it's a beautiful dark jewel tone. So,
it's great, but hard to photograph. But it makes a great giveaway. So there you go.
Yeah, so Anvita, email me, same thing, of your address so I can get that out to you. And then
I will make sure you remember to put the email down below.
I might forget, but
I won't.
Yeah. That's why he's here. To make sure I remember that stuff. So last but certainly not least, the pattern of your choice in the shop of any of my designs is Stephanie Killens. So Stephanie, just email me of what pattern you want, and that one doesn't need to be mailed. I will just email you the PDF.
Does that include the bundle ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Why
if
not?
you want a bundle, a bundle.
A what?
A bundle. You want a bundle of patterns, you can pick that too. So,
the speech is going downhill.
I've talked way too much today. But yeah, so thank you everybody for participating in the giveaway. And yeah,
email watching all this time.
Yeah, if you watched through, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it a lot. And
I like how you put on your winter Bluff sweater as soon as you had a pause moment.
I got chilly, so it was getting colder in here, so I got to put my sweater on.
The sleeves look better than I thought. I thought they would be a little short, but well,
they're pretty good.
They're short for me, but
yeah,
that's why it's not mine.
That's true. It's all mine.
Good for you for making something for yourself.
Thank you. So yeah, thanks to everybody for joining in, and we'll probably see you next time. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.